Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this very special online party. Um, Thank you for all joining us from both sides of the Tasman today. I'm Paul, the MD of Wendy Woo Tours in New Zealand. I've been with Wendy Woo Tours for 10 years and counting. I'm lucky enough to have some great guest speakers with us today. I've got the incredible Angelina Ange from Queensland. She's our account manager up there in Queensland. I've
Hi,
also,
everyone.
and she's been with the company even longer than me at the moment. And also we've got the incredible Taylor as well, who's our incredible reservations expert as well. Now, later they're going to be talking you through some of the amazing destinations they go to and how we bring them alive in some of our tours. And then I've got a very special guest today. She's the person behind the name, flown all the way over from the UK. Welcome, Mrs. Wendy Woo.
Thank you, Paul. And hi, everyone. Yes, I'm here. So excited to join this party and to meet all of you online.
Now, I've got a little bit of housekeeping to do before we get going. Now, after we've finished all of our presentation, we'll go into our travel lounge where we get to the really exciting bit where you all get to speak and ask Wendy or any of the experts any Woo-related questions that you may have. Now, if you can't wait till the end, you can put your question in the chat box at the bottom of your screen at any time, and we've got an amazing team working behind the scenes that will be answering those questions, or will be answering them at the end of the show in the travel lounge as well. You can also put your hand up in the travel lounge, either virtually by pressing the reaction button or by actually just waving your hand around when your video's on as well. And we'll come to you and we'll keep the travel lounge open until all of your questions have been answered as well. Right, let's get started. And I'm sure that you're already sick of hearing my voice because I've got the wonderful Wendy next to me. So she is going to give you some of our latest news, and then I'm going to ask her to go through her timeline, what made her want to get into the travel industry, what are some of her great achievements, and what's next for Wendy Woo Tours as well. And I've also challenged her to let us know something about herself that none of us know, a complete surprise. So over to you, Wendy.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And I thought the first thing, and possibly the best thing, is actually to share with you some of the latest news from our fantastic destination. And first of all is I actually, before I arrived in Australia from London, where I'm based, is I actually went to China and I saw many of our groups after about 4 years of lockdown in China, and finally they are able to arrive there, enjoy the country. And they were having fabulous time despite the weather was so hot because it's in the middle of summer. So they were having great time. That's one. And also I have a fantastic news after I arrived back in Australia. I do not know how many people and how many of you are planning and thinking of traveling with us to China because this fantastic destination is truly open. And also it's, the Great Wall is still there and Terracotta Warrior is still there. All the attractions are still there. But the country, the people is even warmer than before. I don't know how many of you are planning to travel to China with us next year, but I do have a fabulous news and the latest, which we only achieved last week to share here with you. That is, once again, just like all the good times, long before the COVID, that we take care of your visa to China. We filled in, and all you need to do is sign the form, and then we take your passport. We will go to the consulate, do it for you. And this time on this trip, yes, Wendy Tours, as the leading tour operator to China, they have granted us the access. So we can do it for you once again, okay? So therefore, all the customers, if you are thinking of going to China next year, then we will, at the moment, we have this access to do the business for you. So thankfully, you don't have to queue up to the consulate. You don't have to make the appointment. We will do it all for you. So this is a good news. And I will find out later how many of you are wanting to go to China next year with us. That's number one. Okay, number two is I want you to know, and just like all of our team knows so well, that Japan cherry blossom this year is only returned to about 75 or 80% of pre-COVID level in Japan itself. But thanks to your wonderful support, our customers and our agents, that we, as Wendy Tours, we have the biggest and the best cherry blossom season in 2023. After 3 years is off the limit. And now the 2024 cherry blossom is already open and so much already being taken up, but still some still. And we are just trying to work out more capacity so all of our customers can go to. And also then, of course, that autumn, right now, autumn leaf in Japan is fantastic and it's really, really strong. Okay, these are the latest news for our China and Japan. I have much more to talk about, but not now.
Thanks, Wendy. Now, I'm sure we're all really interested to hear a little bit about those 25 years. We've obviously got the timeline up here, but tell us your story. What made you start the company? What do you see as your biggest achievements, and what is next?
Right. Okay. Thank you, Paul. That okay. I want to share maybe just the beginning and what's the kind of a very important part which had a huge impact to our business and to our customer. Okay. So to begin with, in Wendy Tours is set up in 1998 as Wendy Tours. But prior to that, what happened is that I was still doing. I just came to Australia not long, and then I designed the itinerary for myself and my partner at the time have a personal holiday 4 weeks to China. I want to show off all the best part to him, and also there's many places that I haven't even been to. So we were so looking forward to the trip, but about 2 weeks before we are about to go, then there's opportunity for it on my partner's part. So he either go with me to China, enjoy this wonderful personal holiday, or he can stay behind and maybe taking on the acting manager at a good sized company. And because the manager had something, have to leave the job. So therefore, but between us, I was the what's called ambitious one. So therefore, I said to him, this opportunity is far more important than just a holiday. And we're young, we can do any holiday at any time. I said, you must stay and I will go to China myself. And because at that time, and you know, China, the trip, if you booked, you sometimes can't get your money back. So we couldn't get our money back. So I said, I don't want to waste it. So what I did is actually I put an ad in the paper to say, here is a 4 weeks holiday to China, and this is the itinerary. This is how much. Who would like to go? And I will be your guide. And you know, so many people called, they're very interested. And that's how really Wendy Tour started. And so that's our beginning. And then in 1998, the Wendy Tours Proprietary Limited in Australia actually formed. So that's a big thing. And then in 2004, that is just after SARS, which because at the beginning, all I want to do is just China and China. I want to be the biggest and the best specialist for China. So in 2003, we kind of like that. But then we had SARS and the business was come to a ground hold. And then after that SARS, I started realize our team is fantastic. And so I think, okay, what else I want to do? And during that time, we learned we should not actually be limited to China. And for that reason, I started to expand into Southeast Asia, and then expanded into other country, such as Korea and Japan, and we grow in that way. But in 2004, just after SARS, I realized actually we can do much more. So I decided to expand the business into the UK. So 2004, I personally moved to the UK, set it up. And I'm very proud to share with our friends and our customers that nowadays we are the biggest and the best for China, Japan. We're the number one in Australia, New Zealand, and in the UK. So that was all because of that move. And then in 2012, we formally launched Japan and made it kind of our major destination. And in 2015, we opened in New Zealand, and Paul is MD of. But possibly the most important and most impactful thing is actually the COVID. The COVID was terrible for most people and also for our business because China was immediately into lockdown, and you remember Japan was completely locked down as well. And China was also the last one to come out. So for that reason, that it was kind of a catastrophe for the business. And however, during the COVID, our team, we didn't stop. We did all sorts of things and stayed in contact with customers, not only in Australia and New Zealand, we did quite a lot in UK as well. So during which time, possibly especially in the UK, because I'm based there and we have lots of product manager and lots of people over there. So during that COVID, we did loads of online party for people, just like what we are doing right now with you. And we kind of kept that travel dreams alive for lots of people. And then the customer eventually told us in 2022, when lots of area and regions of Europe was open. So the customer saying that we love what you do and we appreciate the online party, but we really like to travel with you. So we don't care where you take us, but just take us somewhere. And so we said to them, we said to them that whatever you say, we will do. So we're going to take you somewhere in Europe, but there's just one thing. You told us to do that, you better come. So the first place we took them was Scotland from England. And that tour was quickly booked out. Then we did another one called Scotland in Christmas in Scotland. And once again, it was booked out. And then from that moment on, we said, okay, we're going to do other places. We searched the high and low, and we actually added loads of other destinations. As always, like throughout the business, in the past, very early on, I go to check out all the destinations, put them together. But now, as you know, I have a wonderful team. They do all of that. But for me, I still actually go to the destination before every one of our customer, the group goes. So therefore, for me, for example, this Portugal, we put the itinerary together because we have an expert team. But before our first group goes to there, I actually took myself and my 2 boys and went to Portugal, and just to pinpoint and net out, just to ensure it is the best can be. And I want to tell you, yeah, Portugal became our favorite. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, everybody. You are very well traveled people, because whoever travel with Wendy Tours, we know they are not first-time travelers. You are very, very well traveled, and you are very sophisticated and very what's called experienced travel. So now, can I ask you, do you know which country actually, if that Colombo discovered America, can I ask you, do you know which country discovered Japan?
Now you'll have to put this in the chat box because we're on mute now until the travel lounge. But maybe what we'll do is we'll keep that to the travel lounge. You can have a think about that, and we'll come back to that in the travel lounge. Now, as Wendy always knows, I am the timekeeper, and I keep on moving her on a little bit. So I've got a couple of questions for her. What's the future? What have you got in the future?
Yeah.
What do you want to achieve?
Yes, Paul. I think that is the answer is lays in what's happening now. Because after that, Portugal customer went, what we showed them was amazing. And because we absolutely showed them that Portugal was the what's called the first oceanic expansion in the whole world in the 16th country. And then our customer really appreciate this type of knowledge and history and culture. So therefore we did Portugal. Then we did the same thing for Jordan. We found all these hidden treasures, such as like a muddy run in Jordan. And we did the same thing for Egypt and Turkey. So then this became the future. And now, and from this moment on, after this terrible distress kind of COVID, we felt we are finished, flew out of the ashes. And now, from this moment on, we are no longer just focused on China, Japan, and Central Asia, but instead, we are actually take our 40 inclusive tours to all the unique and iconic destinations. That's the future. And we want you to travel with us to all these wonderful countries which we handpick, but fully inclusive. So everything is, you will be well looked after, everything at every step of the way. Does that answer you, Paul?
That's wonderful, Wendy. That does answer a lot of the questions and actually answers a lot of the things that I was going to say on this slide, and that is why people choose us as well. Now, Wendy always actually says to us that we haven't actually done our job properly as a company unless you, the traveler, keeps on coming back for a second, third, fourth, fifth tour. We want you to be part of our family. It's not just here for us to get you on one tour. We want you to become part of our family and enjoy what we do. And that's why people come back to us. We offer you these authentic experiences. All of these tours are designed by Wendy and the team. We don't just buy itineraries. We actually do all the research. And as Wendy said, it's her that's out there doing the research for a lot of these destinations we go to. We have outstanding award-winning guides, and they bring a country to life, and they're all local to that destination. So they know all of the inside knowledge, and you will come home feeling like you're one of them by the time you get back. And we do make it easy for you to travel as well. So you're safe and you can relax on a holiday. I always say, when you design your own holiday, there's one of you in the partnership that's had to do all of the work, and the responsibility usually rests on you. We take all that responsibility. You come on a holiday, you enjoy it, and you discover some amazing exotic destinations. Now, fully inclusive touring is what it says on the packet. You know before you leave how much your trip is going to cost. And we've looked after everything. This means that your airfares are done for you, your visas, as we were saying, we go to embassies and we make sure that we have the easiest way for you to get your visas to get into these countries. We feed you in authentic cuisines in restaurants and cafes that you would never go to if you were traveling by yourself, because the menus aren't usually in English. But because you've got your English speaking guide, we can take you to some of the best places to try the local cuisine as well. All of your sightseeing in the morning and the afternoon and evening is taken care for you as well. And we carefully pick all of those attractions to make sure you're seeing the best of the country that you're traveling in as well. And we've looked for quality accommodation as well. So it's going to be something that highlights the area that we're in as well. Now, one thing that we do, and I know Wendy is really proud of this, is looking after our single travelers who need to travel on their own for whatever reason. And Wendy's going to explain what we do for our solo travelers.
Thank you, Paul. And by the way, just before that, I actually noticed there's so many answers on the chat and about this. And I must say, I am absolutely so impressed with the answer, because some said England, which is absolutely true. A lot of people will think the England or Spain, but so many overwhelmingly said it's Portugal. Portugal is the right way. And it is the Portuguese discovered Japan, China, and India. If you say Colombo discovered America. Okay, let's get back to the solo traveler. Okay, the solo traveler for us, we have loads of customers to travel solo. And if you, the best way to say, we have 3 ways to travel as solo on Wendy Tours. First and foremost is actually any of our itinerary. If you like the itinerary, you can join this tour. And when you come as a solo passenger, even though you are solo, but you will never feel alone because our national escort, our guide will look after you so well. And all the meals we're going to have it together. So you will never feel alone. That's number 1. Number 2, in the evening, we often go to drinks together at the hotel outside. And once again, you are not alone. So therefore, we have about 25 to 30% of the tour members are actually solo travelers, not necessarily single. Sometimes they just left their husband or wife behind at home. They come by themselves. So that doesn't matter. So you can join our regular group and enjoy the best itinerary, enjoy the company of all the other couples and the other solo travelers. Okay, that's one. And when you join a group, you can have 2 choices. You say, oh, the single supplement is so expensive, I don't want to pay. That's fine. You just say, I'm willing to share. And when this happens, then we will try to match you up with another single traveler, solo traveler, on the same gender. And then in this way, you can save single supplement most of the time. We have 95% chance to match you up with another solo traveler. And then you can also say, oh, I don't mind. I just want my single room because this and that. So then you can pay single supplement and travel, have your single room. And by the way, our single room are carefully selected. We don't just give you a little box of single room small by yourself. No, our single room supplement get you a nice big room, just like other twin room and the double room, except you have a single occupancy on that. Okay, so that is you can join any one of our group tours and you will be very well looked after, never alone. And alternatively, if you say, I just like to travel with all the other solo passengers, I don't want to join a tour with couples or whatever, then you can also pick our solo departure, which is dedicated for the solo travelers. And then, for example, you will be able to have other small tips as well. You can see here. But I would say majority of our customer like to join our regular groups. Okay, so get back to
that's amazing. And I can see everyone telling us to get on with it. We've got some beautiful, amazing hosts now that are going to talk you through some of those adventures that you can have with Wendy Woo Tours. So let's get on to it. I'm going to introduce now Taylor. Taylor, take us to Japan.
Hello, everyone. Just checking you can all hear me. Perfect. Thank you so much. Welcome. I am so excited to talk to you today about Japan. Of course, the incredibly inspiring, futuristic, elegant Japan has something for everyone. For us, it is our #1 best tour available, Japan Uncovered. Now, we have so many trips across Japan, including some dedicated solo departures, as Wendy was just chatting about, available for 2024. But in regards to this tour, I'm going to give you a quick snippet of what we include and what you'll be seeing while you're there. So this trip is perfect for first timers. It's even great for people who are coming back for their 2nd or even 5th time they're coming back to Japan. They're welcome to join us on this trip. It is the only tour that includes the timeless history of Hiroshima with the incredible snow monkeys and the thriving capital cities all across the country. It's a perfect combination of tradition and modern class. So when should you travel? We have the famous cherry blossom season. It is the busiest season of the year where the incredible, beautiful colors take over the entire country, ranging from the end of March to the beginning of April. It slowly moves around. Now, I do want to let you know that we are almost completely sold out of 2024 departures. So if you do want to travel during cherry blossom season in 2024, please call us as soon as possible, because we'll have to find you on one of the last spaces available. But do not worry, if you can't find a date that works for you, 2025 is already available to book. So you can already start planning for your next trip all the way in 2025. It's going to be here next minute. Otherwise, if you can't travel in cherry blossom and you're looking for something a little bit different, I can highly recommend our sumo tours. So they depart in May and September, where we include tickets to the sumo wrestling, one of the world's oldest sports, and is incredibly important to Japanese culture. We actually take the hassle out of it for you. We include tickets to the sumo wrestling for this particular tour when you travel with us in May and September. And it's so hard to get tickets for it, so I highly recommend, if this is something important to you, you give us a call for these times of the year. And finally, the autumn season. The autumn season is actually happening right now in Japan, starting from mid-September all the way to the beautiful colors, thriving actually best in around October, November. So you beat the crowds that happen at cherry blossom season, which is great, but you're still seeing one of the most incredible scenes while being there in all of the lovely colors. Speaking of which, anyone who's a little bit spontaneous and looking for something this year, we still have space on our 2023 departures. So if you're feeling the itch, maybe you look at calling us and booking in for October and especially November. Lots of space there. So we'd love to welcome you on. Give us a call and we'd happily chat to you about that. Now, a little bit about where we go on this particular tour. We start in Osaka, known for its incredible street food. We then take you to the nearby town of Nara, where the local deer actually wander through the town. It's unlike anything you've ever seen. They wander through just like you or I, wandering through. You get to see them. Some people get to interact with them, which is great. You'll go and see this castle here, the Osaka Castle, one of the most famous in Japan. And as I mentioned earlier, we take you all around the country, including heading down to Hiroshima, where you're going to learn about the catastrophe that happened there in 1945 and how they've risen again to be one of the major cities there. And then we travel off to Kyoto. Now, Kyoto, we take you there by bullet train. So I know everyone asks about the bullet train Japan. Every single one of our tours to Japan includes at least one bullet train journey. And on this particular tour, it is that journey there from Hiroshima to Kyoto. Now, in Kyoto, it was the original ancient capital of Japan for almost 1,000 years before it moved to Tokyo. We take you to the beautiful temples and you experience age-old rituals such as the traditional tea ceremony. We visit this shrine here, the Fushimi Inari Shrine, famous for the thousands of gates, and the best photo to take if you're wanting to make family jealous back home. Now, after Kyoto, we take you into the mountains and you'll be seeing some of the really beautiful scenes up there that not a lot of people get to visit. We take you to a traditional samurai's home. And you'll have the chance to make washi paper. You'll visit a 300-year-old style housing and head to one of the oldest towns in Japan, dating back to the 1600s. Perhaps even seeing some traditional geishas along the way. And then, of course, what we've all been looking for, it is the famous snow monkeys. These guys are so much fun. They have such a great personality. You're going to absolutely love spotting them when you head up into the mountains. Next, we take you to the famous Mount Fuji, which is Japan's sacred symbol with temples and shrines located all around it. We'll take you right here to see the incredible mountain. You'll experience its magnitude on this lake, Lake Ashi, located 1,000 feet above sea level and formed by the previous Mount Fuji eruptions. You'll also soar overhead the valley by ropeway, so we get to experience it from the sky. So that's another incredible experience and another great way to see Mount Fuji. Finally, we take you to the heart of Japan, Tokyo. Now, this is one of the world's most cutting-edge capital cities. It is a city of contrast, famous for its neon landscape, towering skyscrapers, beautiful shrines, and tended gardens. There is so much more that we can offer on this tour. This is just a snapshot for you. So if you are interested, give us a call as soon as you can to get a spot for this one. And now I actually have Ange, who's going to be chatting to you about our next destination.
Thank you, Taylor. Yes, we are heading to Southeast Asia. We're heading to Vietnam. So please let me introduce to you the new Classic Mekong Tour on board, experiencing our new Victoria Mekong cruise ship. And here you'll experience the very best of Vietnam and Cambodia on this tour. And that includes cruising on our new ship. It is an 18-day Classic Mekong itinerary. And this experience will give you not one, but two cruising experiences on, of course, the Mekong Delta, as well as Halong Bay, iconic cruising, which is a must when in Southeast Asia. So we cruise along a more remote part of the Mekong, and here you will see a local life along the Delta, and you'll also enjoy unique excursions, which are exclusive to Wendy Woo Tours, and you'll be accompanied the entire way by one of our expert local guides, and also you'll have all excursions and included in that, as well as meals included, and drinks as well with your dinner, with local wine and local beer. So a great experience. Plus we have exciting news for you, as at 2024 this tour departure will include an extra night cruising on the Mekong, which is fantastic for you to enjoy all the amazing onboard amenities. So on the Victoria Mekong cruise ship, we launched her an inaugural sailing in December 2019. Brand new Victoria Mekong is the only vessel, as I said, to cruise along this Mekong Delta stretch, and we have exclusive 4 and 5 day itineraries that we've handpicked the ports along the way, along the most picturesque parts of the Mekong. So this section of the river delivers the most wonderful scenery at every turn, including the lush green landscapes of Vietnam, right up to Cambodia's enchanting capital of Phnom Penh. Now, with just 35 cabins, you are guaranteed to get a genuine small ship experience. Now, they are all stylish, 25 square metre staterooms, generously proportioned with lots of storage, lots of room there, and also floor to ceiling windows with spacious en-suites, and all have a private balcony for you to enjoy the views passing along the river morning, noon, and night. And of course, on board, you can enjoy the fabulous infinity pool and sit there, have a dip, cool off after your tour excursion, and then also maybe sit back and relax with your fellow tour guests, enjoying a sunset cocktail. Now, also we have on board, we have many more amenities. It's a fabulous ship. It is a big ship feel, even though it is a small ship. You'll enjoy amenities such as a day spa, the gym, the movie theaterette. There's also a library, as well as a sky deck right up the top. You can enjoy having a round of mini putt-putt golf up there. And you can also enjoy the delicious cuisine served on board with our amazing chef at the Clay Pot restaurant, and enjoy happy hour here in Horizons Lounge, which is fabulous, scenic views all the way. So our Victoria Mekong ship is a 4-star, comfortable and vestibule with superior service the whole way through, being the greenest ship on the Mekong with our state-of-the-art credentials. Now, this tour kicks off amongst the magnificent temples of Angkor before boarding the cruise in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, with shore excursions designed to give you an authentic glimpse of the local life. From Cambodia, crossing right through into Vietnam, you'll discover the many treasures, and it is a must-see, of course, here in Cambodia, the UNESCO World Heritage listed Angkor Wat Temple Complex. Now, it is home to over 1,000 temples. We won't see them all, but we will see one and so many more throughout this being the largest religious monument in the world. Now, we will also see the famous Angkor Thom and Ta Prohm temples, which are one of the highlights, of course, and with many more other highlights, including a speedboat ride along the Tonle Sap Lake. And we also visit the impressive Royal Palace and Silver Pagoda in Cambodia's capital of Phnom Penh. Now, another highlight, of course, is our 2-night stay. After our 2-night stay in Saigon, we then travel up to the ancient port town of Hoi An, which you see here. Absolutely beautiful town, one of my personal favorites. And it's perhaps more unlike any other place in Vietnam. that Hoi An retains its original feel of centuries past, and it is an important part and a seaport along the Silk Road. So for over 500 years, merchants from China, Japan, France, and Portugal settled in the prosperous town, resulting in a distinct blend of cultural, cuisine, religious, and architectural diversity in this town. And as I said, it's not only my favourite, but it's also a favourite with pretty much all of our guests. Now, this tour does end in the amazing city of Hanoi, which is the capital. And there are so many experiences on this tour, too much for me to go into today. But you can find more, of course, on our website and our amazing Southeast Asia brochures. And on this tour, you will really be fully immersed in the country's charm and the local way of life. You'll get to hop on and join many experiences like hopping on the cyclo bike ride with our drivers leading the way throughout the old quarter. You can even try the amazing cuisine, but of course, the local traditional Vietnamese coffees are delicious. Plus, on this tour, it includes local cultural performances like the famous Quintessence of Tonkin show. Now, this is a artistic open air performance, stunning light display that celebrates the history of northern Vietnam, and it's truly magical, and you will get to see so much more on this tour, but they are the main highlights. And we enjoy one last cruise, as I mentioned earlier, along the beautiful emerald waters of the UNESCO heritage listed Halong Bay. Now, this overnight cruise takes in the magnificent evening sunset as well as the morning sunset. So you get to enjoy both throughout sailing in the comfortable modern junk boat style cruise. And they have well-appointed cabins, private facilities, and not to mention the spectacular views from the upper deck. So you can relax and enjoy the delicious local cuisine, seafood being the speciality here, on board as we cruise amongst the numerous limestone peaks and grottos. And we stop along the way to enjoy activities which include visiting the underground limestone caves on one of the islands, and you can also sit back later on deck sipping your sunset cocktails. Now, our classic Mekong tour is truly one of a kind. It takes in the very best of Vietnam and Cambodia, cruising along the Mekong River and UNESCO-listed Halong Bay, of course. You will see all of this, and as I said, they are led by experienced, knowledgeable local guides the entire way. Now, when to travel and when to choose when you want to travel to Southeast Asia. Pretty much you can travel through Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, all year round. However, general rule of thumb is to avoid the hottest summer months. So if you're not a fan of hot, humid, sticky summers, well, then we recommend you avoid June to August, as this is their summer season, also monsoon season with the highest rainfall during these months. Therefore, we suggest that you travel January to May, which is our peak season, and also September to December, which is really lovely as well to travel with milder temperatures. There's less rain during that time as well, and you're more comfortable wandering through all the iconic sites. So speaking of iconic sites, Taylor, take us to one of the most iconic. Let's surprise everyone. What is it?
We are going to Egypt. Very exciting. Egypt, Jordan, and Israel is one of our newest tours. I am so excited to tell you about it today because I am so excited. I would love to do this trip. Let me give you a rundown of what we're doing there. I mean, it's hard. Where do I begin? This is the opportunity to witness the majestic legacy of ancient Egypt, the lost cities and the Bedouin camps of Jordan, and immerse yourself in the fantastic history of Israel and the Palestinians. All in one unbelievable trip. You get to see Egypt from top to toe, including 4 nights cruising on the Nile River. You follow in the footsteps of Lawrence of Arabia in Jordan, including stargazing in Wadi Rum Desert. You get to explore the history-soaked sites of the Holy Land, as well as sacred Bethlehem and Jerusalem. But this is the chance to feel the entire culture of the Middle East, combining all of the best sites in one tour. Now, you can choose to do them separately. So say just Egypt or Egypt and Jordan, we offer those as well. But I say if you're going all that way, you might as well do it all at once. So let's have a look at when you should travel. So spring is a really beautiful time of the year to travel. As summer approaches, the temperatures are averaging between the mid-teens to the early 20s with very little rainfall, which is lovely. Then in autumn, you've just finished the beautiful raging hot temperatures of summer, and you'll find the temperatures range anywhere from 20 to 25 degrees in September, all the way to November, where you're experiencing a little bit cooler, say 10 to 16 degrees. So we've got a wide range for everyone. Now, starting off in the chaotically beautiful and history-filled Cairo, it's a true mix of old and new all in one. And I must say, it's truly a sight to see when you're in the city and you can see far off in the distance the pyramids standing right there staring at you. It's quite remarkable. So to see these all up close, something you won't forget, believe me. You'll see the unblinking Sphinx along with the Egyptian Museum with its collections of statues, mummies, and treasures. You'll visit Cairo's oldest district, and the famous step pyramid of Djoser. And we even take you to Alexandria on Egypt's northern coast. After that, take a short 1-hour flight back to Cairo, from Cairo to Luxor, where we transfer you to the port and you'll start your Nile cruise ship for the next 4 nights. You'll see sites around the banks of the Nile, such as the grand temples of Luxor and Karnak, and the sheer size, dedication, and the time that these Egyptians spent on all of these temples will leave you quite truly lost for words. Then afterwards, after your cruise, you'll rise early one day for your trip to Abu Simbel, included in your itinerary, not included in some other tour companies, but we include it for you. It is a highlight for everyone who goes to visit it. Cut directly from the rock of the mountain in honor of King Ramses II, the greatest pharaoh of the New Kingdom. Now, around this time in the itinerary, you'll enjoy an afternoon cruise on a traditional Egyptian felucca boat, which is really, really special. Where are we off to next? Well, once Egypt's done, you're heading off to Jordan. So we take you to Geras, an ancient Roman city known as the Pompeii of the East and one of the best preserved Roman towns outside of Italy. Who would have thought? You take a short drive on the town to a town and stop by a biscuit house, which is a community project providing employment to local women to try your hand at one of the heritage crafts preserved there. So a nice hands-on experience that we offer. Finally, we get to this beautiful site, which is Petra. Now, on your first evening, you'll enjoy an authentic cooking class, and the next day, you'll wake to marvel at the beautiful of this lost city carved directly into the sandstone cliffs. Now, you will have a big day of walking, so get yourself lots of sleep the night before, as this really is as big a city as you can imagine. That evening, surrounded by the imposing mountains, you will return again for the breathtaking sights seen by candlelight under the stars. So that's an incredibly unique experience. We're so excited to offer it to all of our passengers with us. And after Petra, the fun does not stop in Jordan. We take you 4x4ing around the sand dunes of the Wadi Rum Desert, and you stay and experience life under the stars there. That's a really, really special thing as well. And then after Jordan, where are we taking you? The last spot on the trip is Israel. So you'll head to the lowest point on Earth at the fantastic Dead Sea, and a really, really phenomenal physical experience there where you'll have the opportunity to float for those of you who would like to experience it. You will explore some of the local towns. You'll go to the world's oldest active harbor, famed for its legendary associations with biblical stories. Then we will continue to the beautiful mountains of Masada, ascending right to the very summit. Don't worry, we're not making you walk to the top. We got a cable car to get you there. And you'll hear all the stories from the controversial last stand of the Jews against the Romans in the First Jewish-Roman War. Enjoy a captivating Palestinian dancing show that night during dinner this evening, and stay in Bethlehem overnight. And then the next morning, you wake to visit this beautiful church known as the birthplace of Jesus. Finally, we are ending the tour by exploring the foothills of the Mount of Olives and enjoy an authentic Shabbat dinner prepared by a local rabbi. Such a remarkable program filled with so much history and wonder. I'm just so excited to get you guys onto that one. Give us a buzz. We still have availability. 2024 is the best time to start booking for this one. And now, Paul, speaking of booking, let's go back to you and hear about some offers we've got.
Thanks, Taylor. That's awesome. Sorry, me and Wendy are here fighting over the keyboard
For the chatting.
for the chatting. So Wendy might type away there, but we'll get to it in a minute. We're almost in the travel lounge, but we do have some amazing offers at the moment. So early birds 2024, book for next year. We've got some great savings of up to $800 per person. That's to over 70 destinations on 150 departures. So it's all online. You can see it all there. We've also got even better savings if, after listening to those amazing presentations, you want to pack your bags and get away. We can give you up to $1,000 off on some of those last departures that are available for this year. So really something for everybody in the planning. But wait, there's more, because for all of you that joined us today, we've got an even more exclusive offer. And that is that you can save an extra $100 per person on any deal that's out there at the moment. All you need to do is say Wendy Party when you make your booking, and we will give you that extra $100 off. So that is absolutely amazing. Now, I really do want to thank you, Ange and Taylor, for those presentations. We're going to go into the travel lounge and unmute you all soon. Is there anything I've forgotten?
Did you talk about Christmas?
Oh, thank you, Wendy. Yes, we've got Christmas tours as well. So you will actually see that if you want to get away and be away for Christmas Day, we've actually started departures on some of our most popular itineraries over the Christmas period. And that's for this year, and we've doubled it for next year as well. So if you're looking for those Christmas escapes, we've got something for you there as well. So you can see Japan in the snow if you're lucky as well, and have a white Christmas. All right, now it's time for the team behind us to unmute you all, and you can all put your cameras on, and now it's your time to ask us any questions you've got. First of all, can I have a show of hands for anybody that's been on a Wendy Woo Tours before? Excellent.
Alex and Alison, yes. Alison, Alex, and Jenny, yes, and Margaret, and Lynn, yeah, Lynn, yes, and is it Greg as well? Which one? Okay, yeah. See.
Any more on the next photo?
Okay.
Oh, and Dennis as well.
Dennis as well.
Excellent. Now you can all.
I can actually see a few passengers who are due to book with us. They're about to start traveling very soon. They're here as well. Welcome.
That's fantastic. Now, if you all click your unmute button, you should be able to start talking to us as well.
Oh, might get a bit of feedback.
Got some feedback from someone, but that's great. So have we got any questions from anybody? If you have, please start speaking. Check that your little red microphone is turned to unmute yourself, and then you'll be able to speak. Anybody got any questions? Annie? No.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Peter.
Thanks. Some time ago, I'm traveling with you guys to Japan in a couple of months ago, but some time ago I traveled with you on some private tours. Do you still do those to little places?
Yes, we do. However, that because at the moment, our group touring business is so busy, and so therefore it is. If you want to do some private tours, I would recommend that you give us a call, and then we will look after you. Which country do you want to go for the private tours, please, Peter?
Well, one of the places I'm looking at going, well, I've got some specific places I want to see, which is why I like the private tours, is northern France.
Okay, yeah, anywhere else, because we as mentioned, Peter, we actually select the country very, very carefully. We only select the country that is very unique, and we know there's something which is undiscovered, so therefore we can't uncover it. And so France is not one of these countries. Sorry, Peter.
Okay. What about Germany? That's another place I'd like to go as well.
No.
Not yet, but you're giving us lots of food for thought here. I'm going to have to send Wendy over to France and Germany to see if she can discover some things that nobody else has discovered.
Maybe the country that, for example, is the destination which we cover well. Yeah, it's Jordan, Egypt, Turkey, and what's called Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Georgia, and all the 5 STEM countries plus our China, Japan, Korea, what's called and Taiwan. Yeah, these are our major destination, and we are doing more and more of it. So if you want a private tour in this, we absolutely will want to help you with that. But for other countries, maybe not at this moment.
One place that we haven't mentioned today that you will see a brochure out for as well is Latin America. So we are touring right across Chile and Brazil and Argentina and Ecuador, and even Costa Rica is coming as well, which also came from Wendy going on a trip there and discovering things herself. Okay, I can see Ross, you've got your hand up. Can't hear you, Ross. I'll come back to you in a moment.
Yep.
I can see, is that Tukok?
Yeah, hi, my name's Claire. Toko is my surname.
Oh,
That's
lovely.
okay. So I haven't traveled with you guys before, so I am just wondering, looking at doing the Cambodia, Vietnam tour, and just wondered about doing flying premium. Is that something that you do as an option?
Should we let Taylor, would you like to answer that one?
Absolutely, yes. So all of our packages include economy flights. If you would like to upgrade, absolutely give us a call. Myself or one of my colleagues in the reservations department can offer you an on-the-spot price to upgrade to premium economy. It does depend. There's no set rate. We go off whatever the airline can provide for us, which gives you the best flexibility to pick whichever airline can give you the best route. So all of that is taken into account. So pricing for premium economy and business is also available with the additional surcharge, which we will give to you once we've priced it live with the airline.
There's your answer.
Thanks, Lynn. Ross, you've still got your hand up. Have you got a question?
Just here that your surname is Talk and your name is
Claire.
Claire, just for you. That would you like, for example, Taylor, to just reach out to you and then give you a quote, because each departure the price will be different for the addition, for the supplement, for premium economy, or even sometimes we get very good deal on business class. So would you like that? Do you know when you want to travel, Claire?
When? Oh,
Yeah.
when? Yeah, I'm looking at March, April next year.
Perfect. Yeah, this is March, April is perfect. Now we look at how much, because all the price is already being set, and we just look at the airline. And then, do you know which tour you want to go on?
Possibly the one that was talked about earlier, because I want to do both Vietnam, Cambodia, but I want to just make sure that it's interactive enough for me. So yeah, it might be best if I talk to Taylor or somebody.
Yeah.
About
Okay. And Claire, would I be able to ask you for a favor? If you can, just in the chat, can you see at the bottom there's a chat? If you chat, or maybe Taylor is Taylor, just reach out to Claire, and then you can get contact detail and arrange a time that is convenient for Claire. Then you call, and then you can help out. Okay, then.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Claire. All right, then.
Does anybody else have any other questions that they want to ask us? Yes. Wix, I think. Yes. No. I saw you.
Sorry.
Hang on. Sorry. Wendy's on the keyboard again. And what are some of the questions that you get asked for you a lot that people might be interesting for people to know?
What are our group sizes?
Yep. What are our group sizes, Ange?
Okay, I'm answering as well as asking.
Yeah.
Our maximum group size is only 28 guests on our tours. So that's on our fully inclusive classic tours. Our solo departures are a maximum of only 18 guests, as well as our Go Beyond tours, which are a little bit more immersive and off the beaten track for those that like soft adventure for the young at heart. So yeah, so not big groups at all. Very nice, comfortable groups. And as Wendy says, 28's a nice number to make friends with. Right, Wendy?
Yes, very, very much so. And let me share. Why is 28? Because then when we eat, remember, we all eat together. So we have 3 tables, and you can mix and match with other people, whoever you want to meet and whoever you want to spend more time with. So it's a wonderful size. That's a maximum 28. However, as many of our wonderful customers who traveled with us before, the average is about actually 22, 24. So you get 28, but you often get 20, 22, 24. So you always have at least 2 tables to move from.
And we always give you 1.5 seats on our coaches as well. So there's plenty of space to spread out on your coach. And that just means that if you're traveling on your own as well, you basically never have to sit next to a stranger if you don't want to. So there's really lots of room on the tours as well. We often get asked about the food and people's food choices as well. We cater for most allergies and vegetarianism and vegan on our tours. We just ask that you tell us in advance, and then we can prepare those restaurants as we go round the tour as well. So you don't have to keep asking everywhere you go. The National Escort will already have a list of everybody and what their requirements are on our tour as well.
Yes. There was just a question that because there's loads of questions on the chat, so I think it's we sometimes miss some. So for example, I think Cheryl asked that what deposit and progressive payments. So therefore the deposit is per person. How much is that in Australia?
Taylor?
300.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So the $300 deposit secures your tour. Once you've got that, we have you locked in, we have your spot saved, and that is per person. So if you're traveling with someone, it would be $600 for 2 of you, and so on. After that point, we will chat to you about what the next steps are, and we can go from there in regards to when the final payment is due, which is 75 days before departure. That's when we will be organizing all of your visas, and we'll be getting all of those documents ready to go. And that's when all of the final paperwork happens. So the great thing about Wendy Wu Tours is that we give you lots of flexibility. That $300 deposit, if you decide that something has come up and you have to change, you are able to move that $300 deposit to another tour of ours and book on another departure. If that one happens to not work for you and you haven't paid your final balance yet, we would be happy to help you with that. So we're very flexible here.
Cool, thanks Taylor. Now we're lucky enough to have our head of product Sonia in the travel lounge as well. Sonia, what are some of the exciting new things that we're going to see in the new brochures coming out? Is there any particular new tours that you like the sound of?
Well, we're going to have, which is really, really exciting for us. Hello, everyone. I've been answering a few of your questions on the chat earlier today, but I think what's exciting for us is that we're finally going to have a South Korea and Japan tour. That's going to be a combined tour for us, which is really, really exciting. Both those countries have some really interesting history and shared histories as well. They've got the cherry blossom as well in common, so it's a very nice combination. So that will be coming very shortly with our launching of our new Japan brochure that will come in October. So hopefully everyone's excited to see that. And then that way you can combine 2 countries all in one go.
Awesome. Thanks, Sonia. I'm really excited also that we've got a China by rail tour coming out in the new China brochure as well. So Japan by rail is our 2nd biggest selling tour at the moment. Everyone seems to like to get around and see a country by the trains, and so we're gradually spreading out and making even more of our countries accessible by rail as well. So there's some really exciting stuff coming out there as well. What's exciting you about the next season, Wendy?
The next season, okay, once again, you know, cherry blossom is just so popular simply because it's off the limit for 3 years, and this year is the first one and so many people wanting to go but was not able to go. We're not able to go. So next year the cherry blossom will be even bigger, even greater than before. So cherry blossom next season will be fantastic. Another one is, of course, is Europe, because you know, Australians like to travel to Europe. So therefore, when you go to Europe, you can travel with us fully inclusive to, for example, Portugal, which so many of us actually, I think there was which one is that so kindly have the whole answer, and which is absolutely right about how Portugal was discovered by the what's called Henry the Navigator, which is the prince of Portugal in the 16th century, and he lead his team and lead that empire at that time, did all the discovery. So therefore, Portugal, and that's Europe. And if you want to go to kind of to do more together, then I would say either join Israel, or join Jordan by itself, or Egypt, or Turkey all by itself, or you can combine these three together as one 27-day trip. I think that is very, very exciting. And then for me, and I think in the next 10 years, one area may well flourish above any other places. I guess it is soon, maybe from next year to the year after, and all the way through, especially when the war is over. Then that's Central Asia. And Central Asia, I think, will boom so much.
Cool. Thank you, Wendy. Now, is there any other questions that anyone wants to put their hand up and ask Wendy while we've got her here in country before she flies off back to the UK at the weekend?
I just saw a question from I think from Roy, and let me just say, and you asked if we are what's called what do you need to, let me say the question, because I think we possibly have not answered you.
Lynn, if you'd like to ask your question while Wendy's scrolling, off you go.
Hello, I'm Lynn. I'm thinking of doing a trip in this year. I just want to ask 2 questions I want to ask is like, if I were to go to Japan, would you recommend going in the fall season with all the colors, or in the spring season with all the sakura blossoms?
I think we're gonna fight. I'm gonna start by saying I was in Japan at the fall season last year, and it was absolutely amazing. I have got pictures that look like they've been done by professional photographers on my phone. There isn't a picture that really does it justice when you get there in the autumn fall. So I would personally say go in the autumn fall, and then fall in love with Japan, and then go back to Japan for cherry blossom or another time. There's so much to do there there's so much to discover as well. The temperature's also really pleasant October and November as well in Japan. It's starting to cool down, and it's not as busy as the cherry blossom time. Of course, you don't get the cherry blossom festivals, but it does look absolutely amazing wherever you go at that full period. That would be my answer. Anything to add, Wendy?
I totally agree. And cherry blossom is spectacular, but it is very busy and can be crowded. And it's wonderful if you can make the time during that time. However, that autumn color is both course and my favorite. And most of our team loves fall, because the weather is fantastic, and the color is just so vibrant and beautiful.
I must admit also that because it is Northern Hemisphere, it's getting dark in the evening as well. And they do actually have Christmas decorations going up there as well. Although they don't celebrate it as a religious festival in Japan, they do celebrate it as a commercial festival, and they have European markets out on the streets as well with Christmas trees. So it's quite a fun time to go from that November time as well.
So that leads to my second question, which is that if I was going on the solo travel, what would the average size of the group and the age of the group be? I'm kind of one of the younger person in the call, I'm assuming. So what the size of
Taylor, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, cool. I was just going to say, Lynn, in regards to our solo departures, if you are booking on a solo trip That's a specific solo departure. The group size is not 28, it is 18. So it is a beautiful, intimate group. You're with only a small group of you solo travelers all together. Now our age range really ranges. I've had passengers book who are, 21, it's their first trip out of home, and they're very excited to travel with us. And we have, our returning passengers who are coming to us and who are heading into the later stages of their life, as I like to say, when they've got lots of experience under their belt. So we have so many wide ranges of age. I couldn't even tell you. We can definitely have a look for you, and we can tell you, which one you're looking at.
On average, our tours can be any age from 50 to 70 on a general demographic. However, they can be a bit younger on our solo departures, and also our go beyonds, which are a little bit more immersive and active itineraries. So I think, Lynn, that I just messaged you there that our go beyond tours might be one for you to look at.
And I do have to say, I've been on quite a few of these tours, and age really doesn't matter when you're on the tour. Everyone is wanting to discover this new destination and immerse themselves in everything that's going on. And it's great that all ages come together when I've seen them there. We're not ageist at all on our tours. Ross, you've got your hand up, and then I'll come to Judy.
Right, thank you, guys. Can you hear me? It's Ross.
Yes.
Hello. I booked your tour for China and Japan early next year, but prior to me joining the China tour, I'm leaving to go on a cruise in March. I'm just concerned with the Chinese visa. Can that be done sooner for me rather than close to like January, February, which I believe is what sort of roughly you would normally do the visa?
Ross, when are you traveling? When are you traveling? In March to China? And when are you leaving Australia? Because the visa is validated for about 3 months. So we can do the visa 3 months, within the 3 months of your departure. And it cannot be any earlier than that. Yes.
Okay, it takes 5 days. From the moment we get your passport, it takes 5 days. And we're taking it to the embassy for you. So you don't have to worry about getting it back and stuff. It's a very quick process.
So the visa time starts as soon as it's entered in your passport, not when you actually start.
You've got 3 months to enter the country, yes, from the moment you get the visa in your passport. But they do have the dates of travel as well.
Yeah. And also because we do the visa, at the moment, we got this privilege to do the visa for our customer. And for that reason, we will group everybody's passport together. So you do need to give us passport longer. We won't be able to do it within 5 days. So you will need to give us a passport for a period, which we will specify very, very clear. And we normally will hold your passport for a period of time so that it's not just one person, 2 people, because the consulate would not accept that. And we will do this together.
What I'll do is get Taylor to get your details, and we'll get operations to talk through to make sure that you're comfortable with all the arrangements and you're going to have your passport for the cruise as well. But we'll sort it out. Yeah. Judy.
So if we go, so it's Ross. My China visit, I'm extending for 38 days. Is that going to be a problem?
Ross, did you call earlier and chat to me about this one?
That's you, is it?
Yeah, perfect. You had a chat to me. Not a problem, Ross. I will give you a buzz after this one. I did send an email today, but I'm very happy to call you and we'll chat after this. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me call you back. Perfect.
Yeah. And the 38 days is fine. You can extend it.
Yeah.
And they may charge you extra because you have longer visa, but we will absolutely be able to do it for you.
Tyler's got all the answers ready for you. Yeah. Judy, thank you for waiting.
Hi. Can you tell me the timing on the early bird discounts that you talked about earlier? They're all for next year, I presume, or are they on different tours and not others? What's the?
Yeah, there's 150 of our departures next year that are on there. Some of our tours are already selling out and stuff, but other tours are there. On our website, we've got a dedicated page to the early birds that really goes through them all there. But again, we can get reservations to talk you through. Do you know what tour that you're looking at doing?
Thinking about India.
Yeah.
For next year. So
So,
I'll have
Sonia, you know
website.
we've got lots on India, haven't we?
Yeah,
For
so
the early
across,
bird.
yeah, definitely across all our India range, we've got selected departures. So I'm sure we'll be able to fit something in that suits you. And yeah, we'll reach out definitely after this chat and find a date that will suit you with an early bird offer.
Yeah, okay. So all the early bird offers are basically displayed on the website, is what you're saying. Yeah.
That's right. And they're live until the 30th of this month. So you have to jump in before then.
That was my question. How long are they lasting?
Wendy party.
Yeah, just till the 30th. Perfect.
Till the 30th.
Taylor, Taylor, can you please just reach out on the chat to Judy so that once again you can find the convenient time and the contact detail so you can talk with Judy. Yeah,
absolutely.
help her.
Judy, I will also send you my email address. You can contact me as well. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Now I realize we've been on the call now for about an hour and 15 minutes. Is there any other questions? If not, I will go around the table and see if there's any final words that our experts want to give that's come up. I'll start with you, and final words you'd like to say?
Enjoy your next holiday. We're ready and welcoming you back. So exciting times ahead.
Thanks, and Taylor?
Oh, I'm so excited to have everyone join us. We have such amazing things still happening before the end of the year, and I can't recommend it enough. If you can be spontaneous, give us a call and travel in November. Why wait for next cherry blossom? Get into the autumn season.
Sonia?
Jump onto our website. We've got everything on our website. We've got our offers there. We've got everything displayed, our early birds, our late getaways. Our brochures are also on there, and they're very interactive. So you can click through and have a better view of your tours that you're going to be traveling on or will be traveling on next year or this year.
Excellent. Thanks, Sonia. And that's wendywoodtours.com.au, or if you're over in New Zealand, .co.nz after Wendy Woo Tours. So you'll see all our local pricing on there as well. I really do want to thank everyone that's presented today. I've really, it's inspired me to want to get traveling again. And a really big special thank you to all of you giving up your time today to join us and learn about our products. For those of you that haven't traveled with Wendy Woo Tours before, I can guarantee you, once you've been on one tour, you will be wanting to go on another one as well. It truly is a relaxing experience and a really amazing way of uncovering new destinations. And I'm going to give the final words, because she's my boss and she pays the bills. I will give the final words to Wendy.
Thank you, Paul. I'm actually just focused on looking at this chart. And for example, Lynn, that Taylor already reached out to your chart. So if you look into your chart, you will see Taylor has reached out to you. So if you can give her your contact detail, because you said, how can I contact you? So therefore, she is there. So therefore, if you can give her contact, then you will be able to arrange time to talk with her.
And everyone's got Taylor's email now in the chat. So we can all email Taylor about where we want to go next.
Yeah. And then, yes, I can say, I just want to say there's a few which, let me say, where is recommended size of overnight bag? Okay, that's from Deja, is right? From DAJ, yeah, from you, that overnight bag is it's a small backpack you can take onto the airplane. That is perfectly fine. And in many of our trips, we actually stay at one city. We do side excursion to another city, and you can use that overnight bag. Absolutely. Then let me say something else. Can we assume that Japan by rail tour November is a goer, and that will be no later changes, no cancellation? No, that will be no cancellation. And the tour is confirmed. And I just saw there's another question earlier. Also, what's the average? Yeah, that's fine. Average autumn leaves. When is the best? Yeah, I saw there's a question earlier, and then just escaped me. I wish I couldn't find it. just here, there's one. I hate to not be able to answer. Oh yes, I find it now. It said that was then just here row. Good. Oh, speak English. Are you looking at okay at the Philippines? No, DC. My love and the book. Yeah.
We've got that one there.
We got those ones. Wendy, Peter sent through a photo of you, if you can find it, 9 years ago on a tour with him on the Dragon Boat in Shanghai. Look how young and tropical and gorgeous you look.
Thank you. Let me see. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Peter, maybe you'll have to reshare it with you after the show. But
because I'm still looking at all the other questions which we may have missed. Let's have a look.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's have a look. Peter.
We've got all the questions answered. So thank you, everyone. Taylor and myself and our team will get back to you all for those that you may have missed. Look at you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We will be recording this. That will be up on the Woo Kingdom on the website. And please reach out if you have any other questions. Other than Wendy, we're here for you Monday to Friday, every day. So thank you again for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it.
And thank you so much, Peter, for having that picture and share it with us. Thank you very much. And remember, I have not changed a bit. and plus that wherever I go on to the destination, and if I ever know that one of our groups are there, I always welcome to say hello. So therefore, hopefully that one day soon I will be able to see you on one of our tours. And thank you. And like Paul said, like everybody, and here on behalf of all of us at Wendy Tours, all we want to do is to bring the best holidays to you, so that you are not just travel with us once, but time after time. Only then we feel we have done our job. So thank you for being with us for all these years. Thank you, Peter, and thank you, everyone, for being here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, thank you.